Balanced literacy is an approach to reading that includes many properties of reading, such as writing, speaking, and listening. It has lessons in phonemic awareness, phonics, comprehension, fluency, and vocabulary. This approach includes whole class, small groups, and independent work time. My cooperating teacher had more of a daily 5 approach than the balanced literacy program. Reader's Workshop is comprised of 3 components that work together to allow you to teach children skills, strategies, and behaviors that will help them grow as readers. The 3 components include mini lessons, work time, and share time. During work time, the students will normally do independent reading and work on the skills that were taught in the mini lesson. It's important to have readers' workshops so that students can work on a particular set of skills that you teach during your mini lesson. This way they can focus on what good readers do, and then they get to share what they have read to help with their comprehension skills. Mrs. Allen doesn't do readers' workshop, but she could do it after an interactive read aloud or shared reading time at the beginning of reading block. She could do a mini lesson and then have students independently read. During independent reading, students read at their own independent reading level, and then they write about what they've read. The teacher can provide prompts to help guide their writing. This gives students a chance to put to practice the skills they are learning in their guided reading group. Mrs. Allen has independent reading during her guided reading groups and intervention groups. Independent reading can improve phonics skills by having students decode words in their books on their independent reading level. It also builds reading fluency and accuracy by reading books multiple times. It boosts reading comprehension by asking students to think and write about their reading. Word study is an approach to spelling that focuses on word patterns instead of focusing on memorization. It helps develop phonological awareness by having students do activities that help them hear rhymes, syllables, and onset rhymes. It increases phonics skills by finding sound spelling correspondences and patterns to build students' words and structural analysis skills. Mrs. Allen does a variation of daily 5, so she has her students in groups, and then they have a set rotation every day in each week so that the students are working on things at different times. Interactive read alouds are a time that you're reading aloud and pausing to talk about what's going on in the book. And then shared reading is a time where the class reads chorally, so you're reading along with them in the first couple weeks that you're doing this, and then you slowly erase your voice, and then the class is just reading aloud. Shared reading is beneficial to students because it gives them a chance to practice what good readers do and gives less advanced readers a chance to read as many words as they can to keep up with other readers. Interactive read alouds give you a chance to model reading accuracy and fluency and show them what good readers are thinking about while reading. Interactive read alouds and shared reading was not modeled while I was in the classroom, but this could be done before readers' workshop and guided reading sessions or after their morning announcements or circle time. She could do a read aloud with the students or do a choral reading before they break off into groups. This would make their reading block more of a balanced literacy program instead of just daily 5s. During guided reading groups, the teacher will have a group of 4 to 6 students with the same needs to get together for a mini lesson. The teacher selects books that are at the student's instructional level, and these groups change as assessments are given and needs change for each of the students. Small guided reading groups are really important for students to develop phonics skills by having students practice decoding words with the text that's on their instructional level. It improves students' reading fluency and accuracy by teaching fluency mini lessons and by asking students to repeatedly read a text or a book, and then helping with their comprehension skills as well as they talk about the book. Mrs. Allen does her guided reading groups while the other students are working on their daily fives. She also does what she calls an intervention group to help the struggling students in her class. Reading conferences are so important. It's the most valuable assessment for readers. So consider this time a personal investment in their future. During a reading conference, you meet with each student individually to listen to him or her read at a leveled text. The conference should include a running record, an oral retelling, and a comprehension conversation. Mrs. Allen does reading conferences during her assessment periods, so when her curriculum lets her have an assessment period time, instead of holding guided reading groups or intervention groups, she'll hold assessments and conferences at the same time. This is really beneficial to students because it'll tell you their individual needs as a reader, and you can cater to those needs in your guided reading groups and change up the guided reading groups based on their needs. If Mrs. Allen feels that a student may be ready to move up to a different group, she'll do a literacy assessment like running records during their guided reading time while they're reading the book, just a really short running record. If the curriculum says it's time to do an assessment, then instead of a lesson, she uses that time to assess. Literacy assessments are taken to help the teacher find out what level the student is reading at for instructional and independent reading. The assessments could be running records, word knowledge inventory, and or comprehension conversations based on the grade level. It's really important to do literacy assessments not only at the beginning of the year, but to do regular check-ins to show progress and to find out next steps. Differentiated reading instruction is so important at every grade level. Not every student is the same. Each person is going to have their individual needs, and balanced literacy is a really great way to meet the needs of each student individually.